the tape, let's grind. Shut up. The tape, the tape. Let's grind. The tape. We do a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The tape. Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
The tape.
UGA game day, boy, we ball out. Pull up, put the whole conference in the doghouse. Leave them 6 feet, see me on the win streak. All-star status, go coach, and the bench deep. Offense on 10, how we run it? Your best ain't nothing, we gon' send them boys punting. Black and red, got them dead on arrival. Defense hunkered down for the tie. Hey, you don't want it with the dogs. Film guy on it, you don't want it with my dog. Break it down, play by play, that's the day-to-day. They know we ain't gonna play, boy, it's UGA. Kirby Smart, I cannot play the fool. Back to back, we did not come to lose. Back to back, like we got something to prove. Pay your dues, dog nation on the move. What's up?
We do a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape, the tape.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Shut up. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape, the
Shut
tape.
up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape.
Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
Shut up.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film God Network on a very, very blessed Sunday afternoon. I gotta tell you, I feel like we've been going through a lot of these lately of this is when I know, this is when I know it's football season type of deals for me. But this is when I know not only is it football season, but it's your time. It's your time and it's my time as a Film God Network aficionado, as a Film God Network fanatic, if that is you today watching, because from this point forward, from today until damn near February, you finna get something from this network every single day. It's a 7-day-a-week operation around this parts, okay, around these parts. We got Sunday reaction shows starting today until the end of college football season, which means every Sunday at noon, right here, yours truly, solo, old school, by myself. All right, that's today and all Sundays. I'm so excited. All right, not only that, we got Sundays, Monday through Thursdays. Obviously, we are live 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock every single Monday through Thursday. So that's now Sunday through Thursday. And then you're getting Friday Nights Mic'd, which is Friday, comes out Saturday. You're going to get pregame and postgame content here on this network on Saturday. We got a Monday to Monday operation around this joint. Make sure you're showing up and supporting everything that it is that we do, because there's going to be a lot of it this year for you guys. It is loaded here on a Sunday. I'm glad to be here with you. Iowa State and K-State delivered us an absolute rock fight. An absolute rock fight fitting out there in Ireland and Dublin for what I believe they call what do they call that? The Farm Bowl, Farmageddon, I believe is what that's nicknamed. And it lived up to that nickname today. One of my favorite pastimes returns to the show today, returns to the show notes today. And I'm excited for that one as well. And if you're a college football fanatic, or if you're one of what J.D. Piquel calls a sicko, if you're a college football sicko, your favorite pastime return to us. Now, I don't know if it's going to return to us for the entirety of the season, but boys, we got it last night, and I think we're going to get it the rest of the year based on what we saw last night. And of course, we're going to give you your one-stop shop for previews for week one. I mean, what a blessing of a week one slate we have coming our way this next weekend. We're going to preview that today. And I'm going to try. I'm honest with you. Okay. I love my boy Kirk Herbstreit, but I love him. It ain't a good look when you cry, like a real deep cry, like my man Kirk has done lately on television. I'm gonna do my damnedest to make it through the last segment of today's show without absolute boohooing. I'm talking about I mean for real. I can already feel it right now in my gut and in my soul that the one at the end of this one gonna take it from me. All right. So just stick around for that one. But I had a moment yesterday as a father that I've been waiting 5 years for, boys. I've been waiting 5 years for, and I never forced it, and I got it. And oh my God, it makes me want to take every Saturday off the rest of my life. But that's just, we're going to get there at the end of this one. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button here on the front end. If this is your first time ever watching a Sunday show, just go on, buckle up. Go and buckle up because we about to go. All right, we about to go. And I don't know how long we're going to go, but we're going to go. Let's get after it right here, right now. What a slot fest to start college football season, huh? Felt like those two offenses from Iowa State and Kansas State were just throwing a wet bar of soap around the football field for a little while. Now, the offense's sloppy performances in that first half of that football game, I feel like they were struggling until midway through the third. Okay, we can talk about good defense, but can we talk about how bad the field was, the weather conditions, man? I thought Dusty, who I love, Dorvacek on the call, did a good enough job of letting you guys know, hey, man, it is a slop out here on this field. All right, it is muddy. It is slippery. The ball is slippery. It is raining. It is cats and dogs out here. Big, thick raindrops falling on this here football field. Okay, so I thought it was very clear to me that they was out there throwing a bar of soap. One quarterback a whole hell of a lot more than the other one. All right, it was very obvious to me early on in this football game. Avery Johnson, he gonna struggle to throw the football, especially when it is raining. When it is raining that hard, he's got a lot to clean up mechanically, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. And look, I am no quarterback mechanic guru. I am not. All right, but I think Kansas State needs to go back to the drawing board and just redevelop everything, all right, and redevelop offensive scheme and do basically what they had to do in that football game, third quarter and beyond, to win it. Y'all going to have to lead the Big 12 in rushing. This quarterback is going to have to be a dynamic threat with his legs. For every time we study a passing concept, we need to be studying a quarterback design run concept. I am in this studio by myself today, so we are going to try to produce this cleanly. But we got to have a talk, ladies and gentlemen, about quarterback mechanics. Again, not a guru. I am not. But I think there is very obvious signs of we're losing a lot of energy and we're losing a lot of potential accuracy, and it is causing limitations in our offense. All right? They ain't got no runners. They ain't got no outs. They ain't got no hitches. They ain't got no comebacks. They got verticals. They got slants right now, and I'm going to show you why. Let's go to the board. All right, here we go. All right, so again, I'm in here by myself. So if the audio goes out, I hope it goes out. I'm going to speak loud enough no matter what. I think we're good. I'm going to stay right here until chat tells me that we got good audio right here. I think we're good. Fire off for me, chat. Fire off for me, chat. Appreciate you guys. All right, let's go over here to the board. So we are a big energy football team, right? Ground force is all we got. That's how we produce a good football, right? A good throw. It's all ground force. We have 2 feet in the ground, and that is it. And we have to create as much force as we humanly possibly can. Now, let's talk about this. If you watch Avery Johnson throw, K-State fans listening to me today, they go, my God, oh my, I know what he's talking about. This back foot on this cat slides this way every single time he throws the football. Every single time Avery Johnson throws the football, he is here, and that back foot slides this way. Every single time. We are, boom, that way every single time. Almost like a ballerina, okay? What we are not is here. We are not strong. We are losing and floating with our lower body, all right? Every single time we throw the football. So if I go back over here, guys, if we're sliding and we're losing energy this way while we're trying to throw the football this way, it's bad news bears, okay? So let's look at another photo for you guys, okay? That's another one. You can see his back foot right there, all right? Losing energy this way. His whole body floats this way as we're trying to throw the ball where we're aiming, right? Where we're actually looking, where our eyes are looking, all right? Let's go to another photo. Okay, I took this one last night watching film, and it is crappy, and you can tell. Okay, I took it off my phone watching film. This whole body, guys, like jerks this way as the ball comes out. So what ultimately happens, all right? What ultimately happens when we lose mechanics or lose momentum like this in our body? We have a problem, okay, throwing all the out-breaking routes, right? If we're right here as a quarterback, throwing to our number 2 wide receiver or a tight end, we often miss this ball low and inside or high and away, right? Because we are floating this way as we're trying to throw a punch this way. I love my man Rudy for a lot of reasons. Okay, my buddy Rudy is a MMA trainer. All right, I love him for a lot of reasons. He's a great human. He conceptualized this the best to me. Okay, he's talking about throwing punches, right? That's all quarterback is. We're throwing punches, and we're trying to be accurate. If I'm floating this way while I'm trying to throw a jab, I'm not going to hit you very hard, right? I'm not going to hit you very clean. Same thing if my ground force is true, right? If I'm not floating, if I stay parallel, right, and my body stays in line, I'm a lot more powerful, I'm a lot more accurate, and I know where I'm hitting, right? Same thing as the quarterback. So when we start floating like this, guys, we lose portions of the offense this way, okay? And every miss yesterday, guys, for him was all of these, right? We have no outward breaking route from the tight ends. How many linebackers have y'all seen disrupt football, K-State fans? Underneath defenders just getting in when there was space to be made, right? Especially against this Iowa State defense that's 3-3-5. And we're going to talk about that when we go back to the board here in a second in just a few minutes. But when we lose momentum and when we lose mechanics like that, we can't throw that stuff. Guess what else we can't throw, guys? We can't throw deep overs. We want to be a scissors team off play action, don't we, Coach? Right? We want to throw the big post with the deep over on that side. We can't accurately throw these deep runners, guys, because we're losing momentum this way. We're liable to spray it left or right, right? So what do we have to do? How do we design offense? We have to design offense off of him creating with his legs, right? Extending plays outside the pocket. His best play yesterday was him rolling left, right? Not hey, click through the reads, have a great clean platform. That's the only way we can throw it accurately. No, all of his big plays were either him rolling right or him rolling left. So let's design an offense like that, and let's rip the hell up out the RPOs in the slant game, because anything working back into us, he's relatively accurate and he's relatively confident. But, dude, all of these things working away from him, all of these things outside the numbers, we got to give up the dream at this point, man. Like, we were in a college football playoff game yesterday as a team. All right, we were in a college football playoff game yesterday, and we were trying to hope that the quarterback that can continue to develop as a passer. No, you need to develop as a passer against North Dakota State and Army, and when you're up in big games, and then you need to do what they did at some point in the third quarter yesterday, which is we go win with our quarterback being an athlete today, all right? Because all of this, is a real problem with him mechanically. Oh, man, doing this by yourself in here is so nerve-wracking. I have no idea how that went. Whew. Can I get big dubs in the chat if that went well? Can I get big dubs in the chat if that went well? Big dubs in the chat. Let's go. Oh, I see numbers. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. All right, make sure you're firing off. All right, and if you're a quarterback, make sure we are not floating. Floating is bad. We lose everything right. All right, the whole progression from the middle of our body over to the right side of the field, we going to lose it all right, because we are sliding us out. We got to stop that ground force, direct it right towards our target. Now, look, hey, again, I am not a quarterback guru, but it was very clear to me one of these cues yesterday was able to win with his arm and his body and his decision-making and passing. All right, not only that, his guys were winning on the outside. We'll talk about that here more in a second. But, man, this K-State offensive line is really fun and athletic if you watch them on tape. They're always good. They're always really, really good. All right. They have to be able to lean on that ability, right? Lean on the ability to run the football and not so much him as a thrower. Okay. Here's how I contextualize it, simply as I can put it, right? We talked about the other day having a conversation with Garrett Nussmeier. All right. We need to have a conversation with Avery Johnson as an offensive coordinator at K-State. And we need to tell him, hey, look, from now on, 2nd and 7 is going to be your body's down. We're going to have to use your body on 2nd and 7 because we no longer can use you, the quarterback, processor, developer, passer. All right, so 2nd and 7 is now ours as a team. We got to fight our you-know-what off to get to 3rd and 2. And part of that fighting our you-know-what off means you might have to run the football and you might have to put your body on the line. So until you develop further mechanically as a passer, until we start to be able to get these balls out on time, because as we float, we're late, all right? As we start to develop as a passer, we'll give you 2nd and 7 back. But until then, like we have to be efficient as an offense. And I can't tell you how many 2nd and 7s turned to 3rd and 7 or worse yesterday because Avery Johnson ain't developed as a passer. And I don't know if it's not the mind, it's the mechanics to me. We are going to continue to be undercut. We are going to continue to have balls flutter on us. The nose dive. All right, it go the whole time when you watch him throw. And that's all that lower body. All right, in my opinion. And until it gets cleaned up, we got to be an athlete. And I think we got to call plays like that. No more sitting in meetings on Tuesday, designing up our best 3x1 winners for 2nd and 8. Nah, big dog, you need to be studying Gus Malzahn and Nick Marshall. No offense. I'm not saying you're that, but you need to be studying that. All right. You need to be studying KJ Jefferson and Kendall Briles. That's what you need to be studying. Like, you don't need to be studying, hey, what is Ohio State doing on 3rd and 1? No. You need to be studying how do we win? How do we match our personnel? How do we match our talent, right? Match your attainable talent, which is going to transition us into, another segment here in a second. We're foreshadowing there. But, my God, what a stretch to close the football game there. What an absolute stretch to close that football game and to start the season with. I mean, it felt like Rocco Becht, my boy Jonathan, was sitting on the couch for 4.5 hours, had to call a doctor. Had to call a doctor because Rocco Becht was out there dialing it up. All right, dialing it up, winning with the arm, as I told my son midway through that first quarter. Watch one possession. One of these dudes can throw today. The other one can't. I bet the team that can throw the ball today is going to win the football game. All right, going to win the football game. They were sloppy offensively, obviously, to start the ball game. It's a bad day. It's a bad time for the truck toss on the goal line. You know, if it's in the playbook, coach, just run ISO. It's one of the insurance things. I love all coaches. All coaches love this channel. We are the channel for the football coach. We are the coach's channel. Coach, if you're listening today, the truck toss in the box out. Out the playbook. Only bad things can happen to us, apparently. The last 2 big-time football games in primetime I've been watching, Sark fell to it. And then we watched our boys from Iowa State fall to it, hit the damn running back in the face mask. Also, torrential downpour, bad time for a truck toss on the goal line, but I digress. All right, sloppy early. But 2 things, and this is future telling. I'm not a gambler. I'm not telling you how to gamble, but this is how I watch ball. 2 things were very clear to me early on in that football game. One, Iowa State was having no problems running the ball efficiently, even when K-State was over-dedicated to the box. All right, so if you're turning the tape on, if you're turning the game on, and you're seeing one offense just, you got 9 guys in the box? Pfft, who cares? 5 yards at your doorstep. If you're watching that, pay attention. That's first and foremost. The other thing to me that was very obvious from the first score on was, Iowa State can actually throw and complete a ball today, like vertically. Like they can win. They can design a concept and win, not just, I hope he makes the play. You know what I mean? Like that was the K-State play calling for Avery Johnson yesterday in the passing department. We're going to take shots off play action and please make a play. All right. And I don't know if that's a good recipe for success. We just talked about that. All right, so those two things were very clear to me early on. But the other thing that's very obvious when you watch Iowa State play football is that they're going to force defensive coordinators. All right, they're going to force defensive coordinators into playing a boatload of man-to-man. All right, a boatload of I've got to be committed to the box. And as simply as I can put it again, Iowa State forces you to be dedicated to the box and dedicated to playing big bodies because they're dedicated to the box and they're dedicated to playing big bodies. So guess what? I don't care if you're a zone football team. I don't care if you're a mixed match football team. I don't care if you're a simulated pressure football team. It does not matter. When you play Iowa State, when you see 12, when you see 13, when you see 14, them SOBs dusted off 0-5 personnel yesterday, boys. When you see those amount of mass bodies, you ain't got no choice. We gonna have to dedicate to the box, and we gonna have to play good eye discipline and pray to God that the DB that knows he's got run support right there doesn't let the tight end run right by his face. And guys, that football game yesterday was one off of being able to run into heavy boxes and then murdering K-State when their eye discipline failed them. That game was one off 4 football plays yesterday, guys, in my opinion, and the tape's opinion. One of the very first scoring possessions or opportunities to score, the number 7, the safety for K-State, gets beat on a double move, damn near tackles the tight end, PI, automatic first down on a third down. Now we got a red zone possession opportunity for 3 or 7 points. Huge, absolutely huge. All because safety's peeking in the backfield. Oh, God, there goes my guy. I better tackle him. The slot fade in the red zone. We already talked about it. That is a man-to-man opportunity. That is a one-on-one. Get on top of the DB that stack his toes, get outside leverage, run to the pylon. Rocco, great ball. I mean, that's losing man-to-man, but they forced it. They forced your hand into playing man-to-man based off personnel and alignment. The fourth or the touchdown, right? I think a minute left in the third quarter. It's off Hugo, what we call Hugo, right? Hitch and go. All because a corner's like, man-to-man, all on an island by himself. They've been running all this underneath stuff. Oh, there's the hitch. No, it ain't. There's the go. How this little, white boy run right by, how did he run right by me? Well, boom, man-to-man, left on an island. How did we get there? Well, they're in 12 personnel. Oh, also, they've been running the hell up out the rock today, Coach, even when we are dedicating bodies to the box. So there's that. And, of course, they iced the football game with a tight end slip. That's 4 plays where K-State's eyes got wrong. And what did Rocco do? Absolutely slit their throat. Absolutely slit their throat. We talk about it all the time on this network. It's a game of explosives, right? A game of explosives. So if you get 5, 6 of those, and your opponent can't summon up 1 unless you bust a coverage, you're going to win the football game. I felt like had Iowa State not just for some random reason, which we're going to talk about in a second, some random reason bust a coverage late, they were going to death vice grip this football game. This football game was going to be 31-14, wipe your hands, 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Iowa State's leaning on the rock. That's what it was going to be until the damn frontside safety was just like, oh, deeper than the deepest. I've never heard that term in my life, up 2 scores. Never. That's not how I play ball today. I'm going to let him run right by me. That was crazy to me. But from a football game standpoint, this game should have been death vice gripped, period. All right? Death vice gripped, period. Now, what is going on with my laptop over here? We got ding, 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 ding. I want to go to the board because this is a football program that I think I'm falling for. I ain't gonna lie to you. We had a new, not to the board yet. We're gonna go to the board in a second. I got a whole bunch of coachisms over there. I gotta take a swig. I got a bunch of things on that board over there that the day I do become a football coach, which is inevitable, the day I do this on the side like Matt Rule. By the way, y'all ain't got to worry about me leaving you to go coach football because apparently you can do this. Matt Rule got his own podcast, so you ain't got to worry about it. Thank you for setting precedents, Matty. The rule book, right? Isn't that what it is? Anyways, I have a bunch of coachisms over there on the board, things that I believe as a football coach, when I become a football coach, that I will live by, okay? messages, different scheme things, different coachisms, just different things that I will, create my coaching identity and philosophy based off of. And I added one late last night. Identity matches an attainable talent. ID matches attainable talent, or in short, IDMAT, ID Matt. All right. MAT, shorthand for Matt Campbell. Because when I watch college football, there are different regions of football in this world. It's why I do love the fact I hate that we're smorgasbording all these conferences into one, because there's regionalism to this sport. There are different ways to win. There are different pockets of this country that should be doing certain things and should have their identity wrapped in certain types of talent. And there are certain pockets of the country that should be doing it a different way. Again, your identity should match the attainable talent. Okay. I always say around here that I am a fan of good football. All right. I think I have a real good identity or a good passion and a good love for good football coaches as well. All right. I love good football and I love good football coaches. And I do not want to curse this man. I do not. But I think I love Matt Campbell. All right. And I've been on the verge of this take for a long, long time, because I've been watching them from a distance and ain't never really done the deep dive study. But I have loved the way that their style, their scheme, their culture, their whole program is in a line. All right. And it makes sense, right? It matches not only who they are, the program, the people that support it, but it matches the attainable talent, which is the most important thing. All right. Because I know for a fact when I watch any Iowa football, Iowa or Iowa State, but particularly Iowa State, when I watch Iowa State football, I know for a fact they will not be faster than me. I know that. I know that going in. I know that no matter what, they will not be faster than me. Not as a whole, not 22 versus 22. They will not be. But I know every time I turn Iowa State on, they going to be the biggest football team you ever see. Offensively, defensively. They know they can't recruit a whole bunch of twitch on offense. So what do? You telling me I can't find 6'5", 250-pound jumbo athletes in the Midwest? Yeah, I can. I can find a bunch of them. So let's just develop an entire offense and program culture based off of it. Let's do that right there. Offensively, it's all over the tape and how the style of the football that they play. We can get these types of dudes offense. But you look at this defense, man, and this defense screams, oh, what they do makes sense. No wonder I look up every year and Iowa State is relatively competitive. Let's go to the board. And look, hey, I don't care what fan base or team you're a fan of today. If you're watching this, stay locked in right here, okay? I know we're doing an Iowa State segment, and most of you folks are SEC homers. I'm well aware. But this is really important from a football standpoint, a culture-building standpoint, no matter who you are. Okay, look, here's the deal. They play a style of defense that does not require them to recruit Quay Walker. But when they find a 6'4", 245-pound linebacker that's maybe too slow to play in the SEC, they say, who cares? We're going to play him in the 3-3-5, not going to ask him to do this. Look at these heights, weights, and speeds, guys. Look at these types of personnels and people and bodies when you turn on the tape. Guys, these two defensive ends, 6'5", 285 pounds, 6'5", 265 pounds. The key to any 3-3-5 defense, a massive mountain in the middle. This nose tackle, Big Orange, or as they call him, Big Citrus, all right, 6'4", 325 pounds, moves like a damn cat. All right, look at these linebackers. And again, turn on the tape and you're going to tell me, oh, I can run past Iowa State. Sure, you might be able to run past Ohio State or Iowa State. You might be able to trick them, whatever. Hey, they're going to cover a lot of ground. You're going to look out there, and these 11 are going to be massive, all right? Hey, look at my man number 26 right here, 6'4", 240 pounds, 6'4", 235 pounds, 6'4", 240 pounds, all right? Big linebackers, all right? In the back end, because we can recruit this, by the way, guys. This is so attainable for Iowa State football. I was telling somebody today, what is Midwestern high school football? If you go look at it, right? How many bodies on a high school football field in the Midwest fit this description? Coach, he's 6'2", to 6'5". He's our best athlete. We ask him to do everything. Have no idea what he's going to grow into, right? How many small high school football under-recruiting stories are exactly like that? They designed in a defense or are playing a style of defense that lives off that breathes off that. All these guys are just hybrid jumbo athletes. Look at these safeties, 6'2", 210. Guys, 10 years ago at TCU football that won the Big 12, that was a linebacker. He's playing safety nowadays, 6'1", 215. Again, TCU won the Big 12 several years ago in like the 2014 range with a 220-pound Mike linebacker. It's a different breed right here. They're big. They're massive. That's what I tried to show you with this here graphic. Now, the other thing I really like about this style of defense, because they know, look, individually, they're not going to have a bunch of freaks, right? Now, this is a freak. This nose tackle is a freak. But defensively, the way they've built themselves, guys, they create havoc by nature. So I'm sitting there watching it last night, if I can ever get this to minimize. I'm sitting there watching it last night, and I'm trying to decide, would I want to be a 3-3-5 football team? I don't know. But let's take a look at it, right? They got a nose, they got an end, they got a Mike, they got a Will, they got a Sam, corner. Okay. They play a bunch of safeties, but here's the other thing that they do that I love about this defense, right? They manipulate that back end. They change this back end picture more often than any other football team. I'm going to draw this differently. Okay. I thought I did this segment in my head, as I often do all the time, late at night, and then I get here on the board and it visually looks a little bit different. So y'all bear with me here, okay? All right, there's 11, right? 6 and 5 is 11. Now, in the box, everybody knows 3-3-5 wise, like they're going to do all kinds of crazy stuff. They're going to take the 6 gaps they're responsible for. They're going to plug them with those 6 guys. They're going to do a bunch of exotics. They're going to create a bunch of havoc. All right, they're going to do a bunch of stuff that makes offensive linemen do this all the time in both the run and the pass. But what they're really, really good about, and what caused major problems for Avery Johnson yesterday, is everything in terms of coverage is about what we call manipulating the shell, right? We have to manipulate these 5 guys pre-snap and post-snap to let the quarterback have no idea what coverage shell we are playing, right? Especially against 3-by-1 sets. So what you'll see this football team do, and it ends up biting them in the butt, all right, is they will flip the back end, right? Corners have the option of playing either, the flat, all right, or a deep quarter or a deep third, all right? So we'll draw that up on both sides, right? Corners have the option when they line up, they're playing either the flat, or they could play the top side, or they don't play a lot of man-to-man coverage, right? But back here in the back end, man, they can do just about anything with these guys, right? They can do just about anything with these guys. They can plug him. They'll roll him to the middle of the field, right? They can box him and roll him to where his coverage, right? They can play him, buzz him to the hard flat, recuperate with him, right? They do all of this mix match, changing the shell pre-snap, post-snap, right? Now, it gets them in trouble because what happened Saturday, right? This star over here is out here standing over number 3, and then all of a sudden he's got to turn and bail and get over the top of number 1, and he does so late, bam, we get hit with a touchdown, right? They got to eliminate that. But they do a lot of stuff that overcomes their lack of athleticism. And isn't that what coaching is? Isn't that what building a culture, a consistent winner is? That's what it is, all right? And when you get a special group, every once in a while, you go on a damn run, which I think they got an opportunity to do, which is the whole entire point of the segment, okay? Now, a lot of folks will look at that and they'll say, why isn't my team running that? Why aren't we running the 3-3 stack? That leaves you very, very vulnerable to explosives. Very vulnerable to explosives. That is my mental thought process behind that. That's what the film tells me. Every time I turn a 3-3-5 football team on, for every one clip where it looks perfect, all gaps were fit, the next clip, we got 3 Ds and 3 holes, man. We got 6 guys playing 3 gaps, and all it takes is one jump cut, and bam, we're getting smacked in the safety's face at 12 yards, all right? Or like I just showed you, or like happened against K-State, hey, every once in a while, you're going to give up a damn explosive because you're trying to manipulate the shell, and in the back end, you're going to get whipped. Now, that's everybody. You got busted coverages, you're going to give up explosives. That's football. All right. But these stats that Jonathan and I ran down last night were beyond staggering. All right. And I love this about what we do. This is how I operate, by the way. I don't know how other people do their job. You know, you're about to find out how it is I study football. All right. So I'm watching film last night, watching the game, watching this defense, falling in love with it, falling because it's working. They're creating a bunch of havoc. Got Avery Johnson looking bamboozled, looking kerfuffled. And I text Jonathan and I say, hey, do me a favor. Can you tell me if Iowa State's defense is historically prone to allowing explosives? My theory is that their 3-3-5 defense is both havoc causing, but could lead to occasional busts and occasional explosives. He texts me back immediately because he's the GOAT. All right, check this out. Iowa State's defensive explosives allowed. In 2024, they finished 73rd in 20-plus yard plays allowed. They finished 91st in 30-plus yard plays allowed. They finished 112th in 40-plus yard plays allowed. Now, in 2022, Iowa State had their best defense in the history of their football program, I would argue, considering the level of competition that they were playing. They finished third in 20-plus yards allowed. They finished 30th in they finished third in or fourth in 30-plus yards allowed. They finished sixth, seventh in 40-plus yards allowed. No different than most defenses. When they limit explosives, they're really, really good. But when this defense limits explosives, not only are they doing that, they're creating a buttload of havoc, right? A buttload of havoc. But I just love the idea. I absolutely love the idea of your program having an attainable scheme that matches an attainable talent pool. I mean, that's the goal. That's what you're supposed to be doing as a football coach, in my opinion, right? Maximizing what you can actually get. Bro, everybody wants to have a boatload of 5 stars, but can't everybody do it? And that's why can't everybody win 10 games at Iowa State? Man, it just makes sense. You know what else makes sense? Product alignment. Product alignment makes a whole lot of sense, okay? I don't like to trap this place out. I don't like 1,000 different sponsors up in this place, even though I do like money. Don't get me wrong. I do encourage income around these places. But, you know, I think we should take a quick break. Nay, a breaker. I think we should take a quick breaker. You guys know me. Oh, no, you got to catch the first one. You got to catch the first one. As you folks know around here, I'm a man of vices. Okay, I make no bones about it. I have many vices. Now, the key to doing vices like nicotine, okay, is to make sure you're vicing with quality. All right, you're vicing with the highest of quality, the utmost quality, the top of the top, the #1 brand of nicotine. Make sure you're picking the right folks. And for me, it's always Lucy Breakers, specifically their apple cider flavor. I love their apple cider flavor. You get it in there, there's that apple. Oh, you pop that breaker. Ooh, there's that cider. Apple cider Lucy Breakers are now sponsored here on the Film Guy Network. So make sure today you go support those who support us. Go to lucy.co/FGN and use that promo code FGN to get 20% off your first order. Lucy also has a 30-day refund policy. Hey, you ain't gonna need it, but in case you change your mind, my folks over at Lucy, make sure you can get your money back guaranteed. Again, go to lucy.co and use that code FGN to get 20% off today. Hey, I have to read this. And here comes the fine print. Lucy's products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. I need you to run over Lucy's today. I need you to flood that site, okay, if you're a nicotine guy, with your support. I mean, you can't read an ad better than that. I mean, if you're a podcast listener today, listen to that, you're like, I ain't skipping. This dude's cooking. I mean, he must really love this company. You damn right. You damn right I love Lucy's. Hey, y'all know me. I am a fan of good football. I am a fan of Lucy's. And I'm a fan of good football coaches, which means I'm a fan of roasting this next gentleman. Some would say this is like an old pastime of mine. I wonder if the chat's going to guess it. Some would say this is an old pastime of mine, just getting on this network and just clowning on this next individual. Now, I'm going to try to do this nicely, okay? But again, I'm a fan of good football. I'm a fan of good football coaches. I am a fan of turning it on and going, I'll play for that guy. Win, lose, or draw, I'll play for that guy. I'd root for that fan base because I ain't going to get mad watching football going, what in the hell are we doing? What are we doing right now? Which I'm going to be honest with you. And again, I'm going to try to taper these takes right here because I don't want to be too mean because he's very, very likable. I happen to like this guy. We actually happen to run in very similar circles. But every time I watch this, I'm like, what are we doing? And it would infuriate me. I'll pull my hair out, and it is Dan Mullen. It is Dan Mullen. Now, all jokes aside, we do it unless it doesn't happen segment. And I told you on Thursday, and I wasn't kidding. I was definitely kidding. They weren't going to cover 30 points, but I was betting Idaho State to cover because I know Dan Mullen. I know how this man operates. I know this man is not exactly going to run a buttoned-up operation. Not in my opinion. Never, not once since I've been watching him. All right, now, you get him to UNLV, you give him a bunch of money for his first roster to go get a band of misfits. And they got a band of misfits. It's basically a bunch of, hey, did you work out at your last place? No. Did you work out at your second to last place? No. Were you a 4-star? Yes. Come play for me. Band of misfits, all good. Fun watch. But you want to know, I got a couple of things. If I'm watching you and you do these two things, understand you have a possibility that I might come on here red-faced as hell, screaming passionately about how I don't think you're a very well-coached football team, and it's going to be like, damn, why he's so upset? Because I love football. I love good football, and I don't think this is good football. Rule number 1, if you score a touchdown to go up 38-31 in the midst of the fourth quarter against a non-FCS, all right, in which you were favored by 30 points at home, if you score to go up finally in the fourth quarter on a 7-yard slant and you hump the football, off my television. I'm done with it. I'm going to cook you on television when I get to a microphone. Are you kidding me? What is this? All for celebrating. All for it. What are we doing? Not only that, don't get me started. The second guy comes in and he starts humping the air for a TikTok dance. Bud, you're up 7 against Idaho freaking State, a team in which you were favored by 30 points. Also, the corner who just can't wait to take his helmet off after a pick in which it was just handed to him in the midst of a third quarter, in which we're in a dogfight with Idaho State. What are we doing? I know the mic shot out. I don't care. I don't care if that is unclippable. Matter of fact, I prefer it to be unclippable. But that would be me. If I saw that as a head football coach, I would lose my mind. I just did. And I have no affiliation with that football team. Zero. What are we doing? All for having a good time. All for celebrating. Make a good play. Let you folks know you made a good play. But we're just now up 7 in a dogfight versus Idaho State. The nation is at home laughing to us. Laughing at us, rather. The whole nation's at home laughing at us. Hey, it really makes me mad because I got mad love for a guy like Jet Thomas. Are you kidding me? A 5'8", 185-pound running back that's got a chance to lead the Mountain West Conference. Not only that in rushing, but from our backyard, from Westlake. I mean, those are the kids I die for, guys. Those are the kids that I stand on tables for. Those are the kids I do Friday Night Mike for. Hey, this kid, oh my God, why is he not getting offers? Yeah, I know he's $5. Why is he not playing? He's about to go lead a conference in rushing at some point. And it's we're good. We're good. I think I went way too hard, and I'm sorry for that. But I know what happened right there. Honest to God, that's exactly how that would sound if I turned on the television and all 22 copy of a football team that I was associated with, and that's what I saw. And honestly, honest to God, 99.9% of the things that we do to this network, I want to treat you as if you are a football team sitting in a meeting room. That's what we do on the board. That's what we do on film. So if that sounded like, if that sounded like, why does this dude care? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. As a college football fan, there are a couple of things that we have, right? We hold near and dear to our heart, especially if we're a sicko. If you're a sicko like me, you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning praying that the Hawaii football game that you're watching is a nut cutter. And boys and girls, is Hawaii going to be fun again? I mean, holy hell. It's slop. It's slop. All right. It's personal fouls. It's pick and stick. It's slop. But my God, is it fun? I mean, my man Alejado threw for like 10 racks in high school football. And now, little lefty out there just living and dying on every single down. Is Hawaii going to be fun again? Come on, dog. Let's go. Hey, big dubs in the chat for Hawaii being good again. You know what I mean? Or at least fun. I don't know if it's going to last. I don't know if next week we're going to watch them get their doors blown off. But, hey, all I care about is if it's 12:30 and I've just been binge watching a whole weekend of college football, do I still got some, do I still got some good stuff left on the table? You know what I mean? Do I still got some good stuff left on the table at 2:30 in the morning? Because I need it. I need it bad because it's gonna be March before you know it. And when Hawaii is good, 2 a.m. is heavenly. 2 a.m. is heavenly. I ain't sleeping it off for Sunday morning. You know what I mean? Shout out to Hawaii. Shout out to Hawaii for being entertaining again. Big dubs in the chat. Big dubs in the chat. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, and rate, review it. I can just imagine the random passerby coming in the midst of that Mullen interview segment and going, what is this? I'm so used to people just talking about it, not loving it. That was love, baby. That was love. Hey, speaking of love, do the football gods not love us? Do the football gods and our friends at Lucy's not just love us? I'm aware that the promo code is not currently working. Just wait for a couple of days. If it's not working, we'll make sure it does. But I'll rip the hell about that ad. This is our biggest show of the week. It's going to get read. I'm going to let you know that we just got a brand deal. All right. And it's a big one. We love our friends at Lucy's. Code FGN in a couple of days when it gets ready to work for that free 20% off. All right. Speaking of love, the football guys love us so much that they gave us this week one. A week one, ladies and gentlemen, that is unlike any week one I've ever seen in my entire life. All right. So let me just set the table, and forgive me if I miss one. If I miss your favorite football team's week one matchup, it's just that loaded. It's just that loaded. We got Georgia Tech, Colorado. We got South Carolina, Virginia Tech. It's when I need the boys going, after. We got South Carolina versus Virginia Tech. We got Tennessee versus Syracuse. We got Baylor versus Auburn. We got Bama on the road at the Doak against Florida State. We got LSU headed to the secondary Death Valley at Clemson. Sorry for you ACC homers. And, of course, we got Texas versus Ohio State. And I figured it would be fitting if we were to come on here right here on a Sunday afternoon, praise the football gods, say thank you, amen for this slate, and I preview this slate in the only way that I know how, to go through each one of these football games and tell you exactly what the film done told me. Because you know I done watched it. You know I done grinded it. Hell, if you've been on this channel all week, all season, all off season, all right, you know we've been watching this here ball. We've been grinding this here tape. All right, so let me tell you what the tape says. Let's start with this football game, Georgia Tech at Colorado. I'm going to tell you right now, folks, whether you are Colorado, whether you are Georgia, whether you're the damn Pittsburgh Steelers, if you get ready to prepare to play the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets and Haynes King and Buster Faulkner, you better practice without the football on the defensive side of the ball. What is he talking about? Practice without the ball. Hey, You option coaches know what I'm talking about right now. You high school football coaches know what I'm talking about right now. When you prepare for an option offense, your scout team needs to practice without a football. Because on every given play, when you play Georgia Tech this year, all right, or in the future, or whenever Buster is there, and Haynes, and he's got a mobile quarterback, when you play them, every given play has 4 plays on that given play. You better be able to stop the run. You better be able to stop the quarterback run. You better be able to stop the pitch off the read, off the quarterback keep, off the pitch. And you better be able to stop the pass concepts that are running at your face as well. All right? So you better practice without the ball. You better go out there, have all 4 options on all the plays going out threatening your defense. And guess what? If anything's exposed, you're exposed. That's how you have to practice against these jokers. That's how you have to play against these jokers. On top of that, you got to be ready to thump. You know what I mean? You got to be ready to come down here and thump. So here's what I know about Georgia Tech. I know Georgia Tech going to go on a 12-play, 84-yard scoring drive against anybody. And I damn sure expect them to do it against Colorado. So that is my take on that one. South Carolina versus Virginia Tech. First off, look, I am not a complain about the things you can't change guy. That is not me. Honestly, it's why I dumped fandom. I felt like I was getting that take I had about Dan Mullen. Could you imagine if I were a UNLV booster? This guy who knows, loves, and talks about ball the way that I do. Could you imagine me being a fan of a football team that has that? Guys, I just gave that take because I care about football. Imagine if I cared about the team. Oh, my God. I'd have a heart attack, an absolute heart attack. It's why I can't be a fan. It's why it doesn't exist for me. All right, I'm sorry. But that I don't complain about things that I can't change. But I'm going to complain about something that I can't change because maybe the platform's big enough, not that Josh Pates isn't, that we might be able to get this changed. Stop with the neutral site bullshit. Sorry for cussing. Stop with it. Stop, please, for the love of God. Because, guys, imagine Shane Beamer going back to Blacksburg for this football game. I mean, please, can we have that instead of this being played? I love the Benz too, but stop it. Go back to Virginia Tech. Let me hear that. Let me see that. Anyways, I digress. I don't know what to expect out of Virginia Tech, but I expect Lenora Sellers to be absolutely fun as hell to watch in this football game. I'm more curious than anything going into this one. I'm very, very much so more curious about how good the upside of South Carolina is going to be on the offensive side of the football and what they can, piecemeal together defensively. I don't know about you guys. Oh! The ops had to op us somehow, guys. The ops had to op us somehow. I was just about to say, I don't know about you guys, but I am so glad to be back on a Sunday pod. All right. We can't just hold this the rest of the show, so we're going to have to fix this. There we go. If you're expecting a clean-cut operation around here, it ain't going to happen. All right. I mean, I can't even drink correctly. I'm 30 years old. I can't even drink water. You know what I mean? Hey, potential news on the waterfront as well. Y'all notice no free ads around here. None. Not anymore. Not anymore. We got bills to pay. Hey, man, Jay Will, who I know for a fact's in the chat. I'll stand on my hands and do a cartwheel right now if Christian Kirby's in the chat. I will. I'll go over there, flip it to camera one, do a cartwheel right now on Maine if Christian Kirby's in the chat, which I know he ain't. Damn. I hope he's not. Let's move on to this Tennessee versus Syracuse. Hey, no hate in the chat, guys. None. We don't do that. That guy has been way too good to me. Way, way, way too good to me. All right, when he doesn't have to be. I mean, if anybody should be cutthroat and competitive, it should be Josh Pate. That guy's way too good to me. Do not be in that chat talking nonsense. All right, don't be doing that. And I've even y'all know my deal, right? Every time I talk about my man, I'll let y'all know in front. Envy, right? Envy. I want something that massive. I pray for it. Give me a platform. I'm gonna do good with it. I promise, right? But don't be out here doing that. All right, let's move on to this Tennessee versus Syracuse football game. Film and history tells me one thing, and you'll hear this. If you listen to me talk about Tennessee football, preparing for Tennessee, whatever it is, you'll hear this sentiment, okay? It's very, very clear. It comes down to two questions. Can the opposing defense stop the run without adding safeties to the box, all right? And if they can, they'll win the football game. It don't matter how good Tennessee is at throwing the football. It don't matter if Hendon Hooker and Jalen Hyatt are coming to town. If they can stop the run without adding safeties to the box, they'll tattoo that butt. All right, you ain't scoring. And that's what history tells me. Okay. Every time, even in that 2022 season, man, the moment Alabama's adding safeties to the box, bang. All right, which leads us to our next question. All right, even if you have to add safeties to the box, it didn't matter last year because Tennessee couldn't hit their deep shots. So that's my next question about this football game. If and when Tennessee forces the hand of Syracuse, can they actually capitalize? Because for 14 games last year, they could not. Their quarterback could not hit a ball 25 yards downfield in a vertical format. I think Joey Aguilar can. So it's ultimately going to come down to, can you win can you play the box light? That's the end source right there. Also, speaking of source, got a Tennessee source that texted me right as camp ended and said verbatim, quote, learn the name Deshaun Bishop. Learn the name Deshaun Bishop. Now, he is familiar with my game, was this source at Tennessee. So he know I know. I think he was texting me to let me know that I should let you know. So learn the name Deshaun Bishop. I think they're going to feed my man. All right, let's move on to the next one. Baylor versus Auburn. Real perplexing football game in Vegas. I didn't look up the lines, Jay Will, just to let you know. Did not look it up at all because we're playing against the lines, I would imagine, this week. So I don't know what it is, but I know the storyline of it flipping back and forth. All right, I know that. So they don't know what to do with it. I don't really know what to do with it, but I have studied Baylor a good bit this offseason. And I'm going to be honest with you up front, not to forecast or give my prediction here on a Sunday, but I like Auburn in this matchup for a few reasons, okay? First and foremost, Baylor is we're going to try to take what you give us offense. By nature, if you lighten the box, they're going to try to run the football. If you play aggressive and stopping the run, they're going to try to take your head off in the back end in the passing game. LSU plays them aggressive, they throw for 450. Somebody plays them soft, they rush for 260. Okay, I think I know what Auburn's going to do. I expect DJ Durkin to say, ain't no way this Big 12 offense is about to stuff it down our throat. No way. And I guarantee you, they've been talking to them all offseason going into this matchup. They know how important it is. If I were DJ Durkin, we'd be standing up on Monday and we'd say, guys, you 6, you 4 defensive linemen, you guys backups, y'all 4, and those 2 linebackers that we play, all right, whether we're a 3-3, well, whatever we open up, you 6 box defenders. That's it. That's all we're giving you to stop this run. We're going to play it bracketed over the top. We are not going to let these guys get behind us. They are going to have to march it down our throats. I don't think they're able to do it. That would be my game plan. I think it's a successful one against Auburn, all right, or for Auburn to win this football game. I know their box is good, all right? I know Auburn's box play is good, all right? I know line of scrimmage-wise, they should be good. I know their weapons are great. Offensively, I know they're going to be able to get open. We'll find out about the quarterback play and the turnovers, though, right? Those are the questions. We'll find out about the turnover play and all that good stuff. I knew that. I knew that was going to happen. I mean, God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Alabama going down to Tallahassee, Florida. Going to take on them Seminoles at Doak Walker. Now, here's the deal. If you haven't noticed, I'm clip farming right now, going through these, trying to get a good 90 seconds to tweet these out. I'm definitely clip farming right now. There's no doubt about that. But I am trying at some point this year. I think we're big enough. I know we're big enough. I'm trying to get this audio from these channels used on you guys, you shows. Are you LSU accounts, you Alabama accounts, you Florida State accounts. All you guys, the football accounts that tweet out audio, why? I mean, I think I got a pretty enough voice, a nice enough voice. I think I know what the problem is because I'm not sticky enough. I'm too jokey. I like going down to see them boys. You know what I'm saying? I'm too much of that. And I don't think that's clean cut enough. Maybe I should just quit trying. I think that's what Christian Kirby has taught me most in life. Quit trying so hard. Definitely quit trying to be so cool. You know what I mean? I try too hard. A new term I guess I was led on to believe is aura farming. I guess you don't need to be aura farming. You just need to have aura. I need to work better on having aura. Alabama going on down to Tallahassee to Doak Campbell State. See, I can't even do that right. Alabama going down to Tallahassee to take on them Seminoles. It's going to be a good football game for about 12 minutes. I got Alabama rolling in this one. And look, I know everybody's got Alabama rolling in this one, but I got Alabama rolling most of the season. And I'm not buying this Florida State stuff. I'm not. And here's why. We are a buy good groceries football team. Or a football program. That's what we are. I'm cool if you want to turn the roster over at a 50% rate. But my man, if you don't buy good groceries, the shit gonna spoil midway through October, which is exactly what happened last year. And I think it might happen again this year. All right, I could go down the list of their portal additions and sit here and crap on Florida State and have Florida State fans really, really hate me. But instead, what I'm going to try to do is speak some sense into what I think might happen. Now, if Mike Norvell pulls it all together, you get to coach out the rest of your multi-$80 million contract, and that's great news for Florida State. But let me rain on the parade as to why I don't think it's going to happen. All right? You bought bad groceries. All right? Thomas Castellanos didn't work at Boston College. We're very, very well aware of that. Deuce Robinson didn't work like it was supposed to at Lincoln with Lincoln Riley at USC. It's supposed to work like it's supposed to at Florida State. You know what I mean? Maybe it will. It's a gamble. All right. It didn't work for Squirrel White at Tennessee. It was banged up constantly. Now, he's a good football player. I love his toughness, but it didn't work. It never to the point that, oh, yeah, let's just go buy him out of the portal. He's so good. We got to have him. He'll turn our program around. Not really. It didn't work, right? Hey, I can keep going. Guys, they're starting a linebacker this year. They went and poached a linebacker out of the portal this year from Nebraska that didn't start in all 12 games last year. He was a spot player at Nebraska. I'm supposed to think that's going to band together, change you from 2-10 to now pick you against Bama. Hell no. I don't pick you against Bama to be like 2-score competitive. I'd be shocked. If you are, I'm coming on Monday and I'm golf clapping leading the show with Mike Norvell will be the Florida State football coach the remainder. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about this football game. Bad groceries. Watch out for it. Watch out for it. Bad groceries. Boys, we are cooking. We are cooking. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Hey, let's move on to this big one. Big one. I mean, talk about football. God's blessing you. Wake up. Week 1. How we going to tiptoe into the college football season? Bam. Big noon kickoff. Them Longhorns in Columbus, Ohio. Not this neutral site, yada, yada, bull crap. Home and home. Give it to me. Longhorns at noon. Big kickoff in Columbus, Ohio against the Ohio State Buckeyes. Archman and Julian saying, you already know. See? Too many stumbles there. Too many stumbles there. Anyways, I skipped over LSU and Clemson. I'm tripping. Let's go back. We get a second stab at trying to clip that for Ohio State Buckeyes football account and Texas. LSU versus Clemson. The battle to find out who is the real Death Valley. My money's on LSU, and here is why. My favorite quarterback battle of the weekend, and I'm going to tell you right now, the more I watch Garrett Nussmeier, the more I think this is going to be my favorite quarterback to study all year. The more I think I might be sliding some of that quiche on Garrett Nussmeier to win the Heisman Trophy. All right, I really believe this is going to be our best. Holy hell, that's a big-time throw quarterback in all of college football. All right, I think he was that last year. Bar for bar, throw for throw, hack for hack. Garrett Nussmeier could go bar for bar with anybody last year, Cam Ward included. This dude throws NFL balls, left and right. It's all over the tape. He's going to hone in the turnover rates. He's going to hone in the bad decisions. I trust Garrett Nussmeier. I also trust, and this is the paradox in this football game, I trust that Clemson box. We were talking about loving the box earlier. I love that Clemson Tiger box. All right, them 4 down linemen, they as good as anybody. As good as anybody. This box play is as good as anybody. Nay, I'd say the best in college football. Peter Woods, first-round draft pick. TJ Parker, first-round draft pick. DJ K. Park, going to be the first defensive nose tackle taken off the board. Sammy Brown, NFL body. Wade Woodaz, NFL body. Jamal Anderson, NFL body. They got all of them. They got all the NFL bodies in that box. We love elite box play. We love the matchup. Okay, LSU, if they can band together any type of interior offensive line performance, Garrett Nussmeier for the Heisman. Talk to me right now. Let's move on. The Longhorns going up to Columbus, Ohio. Thank the football gods for this not being a home and or a neutral site of venue. Thank you for the home and home. Thank you for big noon kickoff. Thank you for week 1 of college football, smacking me in the face at noon with the Longhorns and the Buckeyes in the big ass. No, that's the big ass. That's the shoot. See? I mean, it's comical at this point. You can't even make this stuff up. The Lee Corso Swan song. I can't clip farm none of this stuff. I can't clip that. If I clip that, put that out, Michigan and Ohio State fans are going to kill me. That's like the one mistake in that clip you can't make. You can't call Ohio State's home field the Michigan field. You idiot. No, I'm not running it back. We do a live show. That's why we do live. Because that right there, I think for the live viewer and the Respawn watcher that's watching this today, that is way better for you than me aura farming some clip to get put on Ohio State's football Twitter. I mean, good God. Hey, you know what I love most about, honest to God, you know what I love most about this? Not just that it's a home and home, not just that this noon football game, week 1, is smacking us in our face in Columbus, Ohio, not just the quarterback battle. I know for a fact this game has absolute dudes. I love dudes. You know this about me. Okay, I love good box play, and I love dudes. This football game has a plethora of dudes. Some of the best dudes in college football. They got the best safety in college football in Caleb Downs. If you got any pushback for me at all, just know I think I know ball more than you, and I'll fight you to the death on that one. Caleb Downs is the best safety in college football. Jeremiah Smith is head and shoulders the best wide receiver in college football. By far, bar none. Colin Simmons is the best edge rusher in college football. Bar none. Anthony Hill is the best linebacker in college football, bar none. At every single moment in this football game, there is going to be a best of or best in the game right now on the field. At noon to start our college football season. If that don't get it moving, it just ain't moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, my God, how blessed are we? How blessed are we? Speaking of blessed, look, it's very clear. If you're here this long, an hour and 10 minutes, you not only love football, but you can tell that I love football. And my entire life growing up, when I envisioned what I was going to be as a dad, okay, I knew I was going to be a sports dad, right? I thought I was going to be like lunatic sports dad, like put a club or a bat or a ball in his hand, like the moment he roll out, like the moment he come out, it just like, boom, hey, we love ball. Like, I thought I was going to be that dad. Okay, but the older and the more, you know, once I had a child, my whole viewpoint on that changed. Okay, I do not care. All right, I don't care if my son is the greatest quarterback of all time. I don't care if he's, you know, the next coming of David Andrews. It does not matter to me. All I care about is he a good man? All right, when it comes to my son, am I going to raise a man? Because I think nowadays there's few and far between, to be honest with you. When I look around the corner, and we just don't have enough of them. So does he do his responsibilities? All right. Is he going to lead his household? Is he going to take care of things when he's supposed to? Is he going to do the things that he doesn't want to do because he has to? And that's part of being an adult. That's part of being a man. Those are the things that I care about. That being said, of course I want my son to love ball. Of course I want my son to love football. Of course I want my son to watch football with me and love it. Because of course he's my best friend. And for 5 years, I've never forced it on him. Never, not once have I ever been like, this is what we do. You're in Austin. I love ball, so you're going to love ball. Sit here and watch this with me. And for the first time in his life, yesterday, for 5 hours, he sat down and he watched ball with me. He watched ball. And oh my God, dude, not to be that guy. I love myself and I love my son, but what an experience. If he loves ball, what an experience that guy's going to have. Because I can't tell you how many times he looked at me yesterday and goes, hey, Dad, how'd you know that was going to happen? And I got to look at him and say, son, because Dad knows ball. Because Dad knows ball. Dad knows ball, and you're going to know ball. All your friends are going to think you're a genius, you know ball. You're going to be sitting in a table in a room with your boys watching ball, and you're going to say, I know this is coming. Why? Because my dad knows ball. What? Of course. And I got that yesterday. And here's the key, man. Here's the key, folks. If you're listening today and you can't get your son or your daughter or anybody to lock the F in on ball, just not let them watch anything else. We have spent I'm vibrating. We've spent the last 5 months in this household, and I love you, honey. When you're watching it, I love you to death because this is all you. This ain't me. Lord knows how much I work. This is not me. This is all you. We have removed all the screens. We have removed all the screens in our house. Ain't no Bluey, ain't no nonsense, ain't no YouTube, ain't no none of it. All right? It is nothing but Play-Doh and blocks. And I'm going to tell you right now, you want to have your son mouth open, drooling, going, what is this? Take away all their screen time, put them in front of a 55-inch screen, and make them watch Iowa State, Kansas State. They're going to think they done touched God. Whoo! I'm telling you, ain't nothing better. I love you, son. I love you, son. And I love you guys. And I love ball. We will see y'all tomorrow.